Okay, so we're getting started with our meeting here today. We're talking about vibe working. Now, vibe coding has been a word that's been played around social media and people are learning about it. And maybe if you're not a coder, you could say, well, who cares? Vibe work, it's a similar concept. The idea is to reverse engineer the work that you do. Think about what you want as the ultimate outcome and then build a plan around that. I'm about to let the mob in right now. You know how this works. We're going to be able to get all these great people into the meeting to talk about just this. Let's welcome them. Here we go. Okay. Getting started now. All these great folks coming in. Oh my God. Terry Robinson is here. It's a Christmas miracle. Gotta love that. Paul
It's
is
a
here.
it's a blizzard miracle.
Okay, it's a blizzard
You got
miracle.
that
Blizzard.
right. You got that right.
Oh, really? Yeah, I
Oh,
know
it's
how you feel.
horrible.
I woke up this morning walking my dog at 53 degrees. It was terrible.
I'll trade you. I'll
Uh,
trade you.
So we're going to be getting into vibe working, guys. This is a bitch and disco time. Hassan, welcome. John, welcome. Dirk in Denver, great to see you. Great meeting with you yesterday. Got a couple of other things. I'm getting my other computer started up right here, so we can take a look at at my screen here. Let me just get this going here. Trying to got Greg coming in now. All this fun stuff. Do not adjust your television sets, kids. This is just Ed trying to get the meeting going here. So vibe
Okay,
working.
what do you call a fish with no eyes?
Uh, I don't know.
Psh.
Really? I mean, I never looked at you as like
It's
somebody
the coffee. It's the
with a
coffee.
dad joke. That's just a bad dad. You know what? Honestly, Terry, I expect more out of you.
All right. What do you call a
Okay.
cow with no legs? I've got a bunch of
Oh
mutilated
no, no, no,
animal
no.
dad
We'll we'll
jokes here.
we'll we'll, we'll pause at that. But we'll get into this. Aton in Europe. Welcome, Aton, my partner. Love to have you here. Suzanne, I see her. Okay, we're getting all these folks going here. We're going to be talking about this vibe coding and vibe working. Has anyone heard of the term vibe coding? Show of hands. Nobody. Okay. Maybe, kind of, sort of. Anyone hear the term? Well, if you haven't heard vibe coding, you haven't heard vibe working. So let me break it down for you. Vibe coding is a terminology that's emerged in the last year. And it came from the fact that people who code anything, when I say code, like write software or develop systems within their business, once upon a time had to go through these long, complex coding classes, get a degree in computer science. And I'm not blowing off an education. I want to be very, very clear from the onset here. What vibe coding basically became was coding based on the words. You're looking at an outcome of what you want to deliver. And instead of actually writing the code and writing the software, you're describing to an AI what you want it to do, and it just does it. Now, a lot of you, who follow me and who understand what I'm trying to do, I'll show you some of the things that I have vibe coded. I also happen to be a novice at Python, which helps. Python's a computer programming language. But again, I don't want to get beyond everything here. Vibe coding, that's how it basically started out. It said, okay, great. We can now use artificial intelligence to create our own software. I'm going to be brief here, excuse me, with the history of it, because I think it's important that all of you understand it. It's important for you to understand that vibe coding has really led to a mind shift that's now spilled over to work. So it was Anthropic is a company that makes a product called Claude. You've naturally heard of ChatGPT. If not, you've been sleeping under a rock. But people know about ChatGPT. Claude is a competitor of ChatGPT. And they came up with this concept. They said, okay, wait a minute. We don't, if we're going to be coding things and working out absolutely everything just by our words, just by describing it, let's come up with the terminology. That's where vibe coding was born. Taking it a step further, vibe working is taking a look top down and then bottom up of the work that you need to do. So let's say, and I could read to all of you what my tasks are. In fact, let me do just that. Today, where is my thing? Okay, so today there's a bunch of things that I want to get done. First of all, Dirk is now coaching with me, and I owe him an email and login and passwords and a bunch of things. So I've got to get that to him. I need to follow up with someone who I had a meeting with yesterday. I need to, now let's get to the boring stuff here. I need to reach out to Derwin, my insurance guy, because I'm buying new E&O insurance, and there's all sorts of stuff that I filled out, of course, using AI. I didn't hear back from him yet, so I need to do that. I want to send happy birthday notes to everyone on Facebook whose birthday it is today, but I want to take it a step further. I want to make it um, a
You're
more
not sharing.
detailed. Sorry?
You're not sharing your screen.
I'm not trying to yet.
Okay.
Okay, but thanks. So I'm just reading from a list here. So I want to send a birthday list. I want to also send a CMA to somebody in my farm area. Right now, it doesn't matter. I need to also fill out the reports for the state. I've got three corporations: Organized New York Palm Beach, Edmund Pierce Bogen LLC, and Dave T Productions. So I need to get those things formed out. And I want to write a memo to my team regarding the Brokers Open that we have coming up next week. And those are just some of the things that are right now on my list to do. Those are very good examples of stuff that I could actually put out there that I could vibe code. Go ahead, Paula.
Yeah,
First
I
of all,
had
but
a
before you go ahead, why don't you introduce yourself?
hi, I'm Paula Anaruma. I'm in Northeast Queens, Flushing, Whitestone area, and
Cool.
been in business many years. So I was thinking of something for my assistant to do this morning, and
Okay.
that was run the expires again because of course we did it in, at the end of the year and really didn't do anything with it. So we came up with a new letter. Great, great. We want to send a letter. But can it, one of them, Perplexity or Chat, take that list and see if any of them have relisted? Is it that good?
Yes. The short answer is that yes, it can, provided that you could tap into, okay, again, a little bit of terminology that we have here. Carmela has family in Whitestone. You guys
Yeah, hi
should meet.
Carmela. Thank you.
Um, so the answer is, and Paul, I'm so glad that you brought that up. I really am. I'm grateful because what vibe coding and vibe working essentially is saying, what's the outcome that I really want? I just named a bunch of things that I really want. All of you are familiar with the stuff that you do on a day-to-day basis, but I don't think a lot of you have necessarily thought through the volume of tasks that it takes to necessarily A, get it done, and B, some of the stuff that's just a complete waste of time. You're working, people think that they're working when they clicking send and receive and hoping that that email came through. Um, so what I'm trying to do here is show you what we can do by taking that top-down approach. Paula, what you just described takes a little bit of work because there's two things that you need to learn. One, there's a word API, okay, application programming interface. Don't let this gloss over your head, guys. It's just a doorway, okay? It's just a doorway between two or more different computers. So when I say API, anyone on ChatGPT and it says, "Do you want to connect with your Gmail?" Has anyone seen that? Has anyone logged into using Gmail? Logged into a program? You just click login. Have you ever seen that offer? Nobody's done that. Maybe Jonathan, help me out. Maybe Carmela says
Yes,
yes.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yes.
Some of you may or may not. Basically, the API is that connection. It's a doorway. You're going to be hearing that term more and more. For realtors, you might have heard of the term IDX. Anyone hear that? Nod wildly if you've heard of IDX. Great. Greg knows that. So that's Greg. Hands on the wheel, okay? Um, so IDX, and for Michael, who's not a realtor, IDX is basically the API. It's the connection to the Realtors Association data. What Paul is asking for is can we go into the IDX and get the connection of all the expired listings and then have some type of automation? Did I read that right, Paula? Was that what you were trying to do? You got to unmute.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, yeah, we can run the expired list from MLS and then
Mhm.
copy paste it with just the addresses. Most likely, it'll tap into Zillow to see if it's active because I see the chat or Perplexity goes into Zillow.
Sure.
It doesn't necessarily have to get to my LIBOR information. I don't know where it would really tap into, in other
Okay.
words. So
So what we need, first of all, you got a great idea. So kudos to you. What we need is to actually form that connection. The short answer is yes, it can be done. The longer answer is it takes a little bit. And by the way, for all of you here, the setup time, I don't want to lose you in the setup time because I'm going to show you some cool things right now, and then I'm going to tell you how much time it took me to set it up. So with that said, let me kick on to this. Just get some crap out of my desk here. Ay, 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 so much stuff. So much stuff going on here. I'm actually working on two computers today, just so that I was kind of experimenting this with Aton before, and we were just discussing how this is actually working. First of all of you should have the workbook. We could take a look at it here. Look at this. My name is Ed. I'm 35. Okay. Maybe we went a
yeah,
little too,
I am too.
yeah. We went a
I
little bit,
want your filter.
yeah, yeah. So we got some funny stuff here. But if you follow along, you're going to find out we've got four different areas that we're going to work on. The vibe creator, the vibe writer, the vibe reviewer, and the vibe analyzer. Once again, we're just going to reverse engineer the work that you do and then try and come up with some type of outcome. So what I was reading to all of you before, some of the things that I want to get done today. I don't need to write a letter to Dirk just yet. I need to create a CMA. Now I set this up a little bit ago, but I'm going to show you without killing it here. Um, I like to use Claude, and let me just see that you're seeing all that good. I like to use Claude, and one of the things that I like to do, and you could do this over and over again, is set it up with what's going on right here in St. Andrews Country Club. So let's start out with what this whole vibe is going to be. I'm going to say to Claude, I need to create a series of CMAs within my country club. I'm going to give you just a little bit of feedback. I want you to invoke the Edmund Bogen brand skill to create this in a well done formatted way. I'm going to give you 1 year's worth of um, data of what's closed along with what's currently on the market. And then I'm going to put some properties into you, which I want you to write a personalized CMA. Do you understand? If so, simply say input, and I will start with the inputting of information. Okay. By the way, I dictate using a program called WhisperFlow. It uses AI to give almost a perfect um, connection or correction of what I say. I'm able to dictate at 160 words a minute, whereas I could only type at 55 words a minute, and I'm a pretty good typer. So great. So it said input. Now what am I going to do? I went here already and I got this information just beforehand. This is, trust me, 31 results of what closed in the last 12 months here at St. Andrews Country Club. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to dump it into
So
the,
really, you just cut and pasted?
I'm literally just cutting and pasting it. Okay. There's a little bit more information that's already been placed in here, but we're going to go through that in just a little bit. I want to show you the sizzle before I show you the work that went to preparing this. So we have that that's gone in. The AI knows everything about me, so I can actually uh, rely on it, at least somewhat, to give more detailed information about me and incorporating that into the CMA. Okay, great. Now I'm taking what's active on the MLS right now because that's important too. I'm going to copy that. Sorry, guys. I don't know if you have the problem when you're doing all of this with cutting and pasting when you're in a Zoom meeting. There's lots of things on your screen. So I'm taking a little bit of time. So great, we have that in there. Great, I've got all 10 properties. Mazel tov, love it. Okay, so now why don't we take um, a property here. I'm going to say, now please give me the subject properties you want to create CMAs for. I'm going to take it a step further. I'm going to say, I'm going to put an image of me, which I have conveniently set on the desktop. I'm going to say, when you make the CMA, please conveniently and artistically put this photograph of me into that image. And I'll decide if we want to keep it, but I want to be able to really personalize this. The address of the property is 17651 Foxborough Lane. I want you to come up with the appropriate pricing. I think the data for it is already in you. It may already be listed, but based on the market information, I want you to figure out an appropriate price and give a significant pitch for the Edmund Bogen team at Douglas Elliman Real Estate. And it's going to put all that thing down there. Um, and let's take a look. Great. So now this guy is baking, I like to say. It's working on this. And while that does this, again, in the total vibe of vibe coding, I can leave this alone. It's going to start reading the CMA skill. It's going to go through that, and let's leave that alone for a second. Now let's go to the next thing that I want to get done. I said, where was the other thing in my list?
Edmund, while you're doing that, can I
Yep.
ask, have you put in a format for your CMA?
Yes, and we're going to get to that.
Okay, all right.
Yes,
Thank you.
like I said, I want to show you the sizzle because there was several hours of work done teaching the AI how to do this work.
That's
But
yeah.
I'm trying to get through all this. I'm just looking at my list here. I need to fill out reports for the state. I hate filling out reports for the state, but this is going to be done a lot easier now because I'm going to go to Sun, sunbiz.org, which is Florida state's Department of Taxation and all of this. And I'm going to go open up. This is Comet, everybody. Take a look at the screen. If you look up here on the upper, where's my mouse? Okay. On the upper left side, it says Comet. Comet is a new browser similar to Chrome, or you might be on Safari. So this is a browser by a company called Perplexity. And why am I using it? Well, let's take a look. I need, you know, I need to fill out the annual report for my wife's business. It's called Organize New York Palm Beach. And I'm going to actually put in LLC. Please look it up and fill out all the information that you know about the business and about me, and just bring it to the point of where I need to pay. Okay, now watch what happens. You could see immediately, you see the little blue kind of almost like northern lights around the side here, how it's kind of weaving in and out. The AI is now taking over the screen and it's starting to go for the information that I actually directed it to do. So let's see what we got going on here. We're vibing with this. We're vibing with my my CMA. Let me retry here because there was an issue. Okay, sometimes things it's reading the skill. Let's go here. Great. It's now this one is looking up the work that needs to be done. It's looking up organized New York Palm Beach. Let's take a look if it comes up with the company. Again, I'm not typing anything, so please note that. And it found on the right over here is the organized New York Palm Beach. That's the first property, and it's going to do what I needed to do at least at this point to get me to the point of actually filing the document. Okay, this thing now has everything it needs to create the CMA. Good. So I got two things going on here. It's coming up with some errors, but this thing's still working. So let's see what happens there. Great. What was the next thing that I needed to get done? Um, I need to write a memo to the team that we need to get the brokers open. Let me find something more exciting than that. Happy birthdays. We love happy birthdays. So another thing that I could do is go to Facebook now. And you might think, okay, why bother with birthdays? You wouldn't believe how much people really appreciate it. And I'm just showing how quickly we could come up with this stuff. Great. So these are the birthdays today. And I'm going to just highlight all these birthdays. Great. I'll just get for today. I'm going to put it over here. I'm going to open up Claude again. And where is he? Okay, there we go. So I could say something like, I I want to give some heartfelt happy birthdays to people whose birthday it is today. These are Facebook posts. You could throw in a couple of emojis. Um, you could be inspiring and perhaps an inspiring quote. Try and make an inspiring quote for each one, just a little bit different if you can. And I'm going to give you all the names. I simply am cutting and pasting what was in Facebook. Please put it to me in a format that I could easily cut and paste and put back to them. Thank you. So, okay, great. And here are the names. Now we've got that going. Great, good, got it. Now, the AI is going to work on the birthday memos. The AI is still working to fill out my tax form, which is good. The AI is still working on my CMA. Okay, good. So we got the AI doing a lot of stuff here. Let's take a look at the birthdays. John Angle, happy birthday, John. This is the best yet to come. Keep building, keep growing, keep inspiring. Wishing you an incredible year ahead. Happy birthday, Claire. Life's a beautiful adventure, and every birthday is a reminder. Blah, 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 blah. It's a little too hallmarky for me. But I think you get the point. What I would do at this point is just simply cut and paste them, or I could go back to Comet and I could have it fill in the birthday wishes for me if I want to really, really be lazy. I'm teaching all of you how to be strategically lazy. That's really the bottom line with all of this. If you could figure out what is the bottleneck point in your work, there's a workaround for all of this stuff. It might take a little while, but then again, who cares? I mean, the CMA, there's no urgency to get this done in the next 30 seconds. And in fact, it is going to, and it's apparently taking a little bit longer here to make this, but we'll find out why in a little bit. Okay, so what else do we have here? Okay, this thing's still working here. What else was on my list? If you have questions, feel free to ask. Um, oh, an email to Derwin about my E&O insurance. Now, some of you might have already seen this already. If you have Gmail, who has Gmail? My guess is most of you have Gmail, maybe? Okay. So Gmail, Terry, did you know that Gmail now has AI assist in writing messages?
I did know that.
You did know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Some people don't know that. So I will show them here. There's a little button right down here, little pencil. You see that right here? So you could click on this and it will now take your words. I'm going to dictate here again. Um, oh yeah, the E&O insurance. Okay. Hey Derwin, I hope all's well. I got you the information as requested about the E&O insurance. Can you please let me know what the status is and what you might need from me? Also on that other insurance matter, I'm having an inspector come and a contractor come and fix the items we said for you to get to my insurance company. Please give me a call or drop me an email when you have time. Thanks. Okay, so I dictated into it now. The AI writes the email, and I can now insert the email, and I could go Derwin. Okay, and it said E&O insurance status, and boom, sent. Okay, so that's off my to-do list. Um, just, let me look at all of you for a second. Just the sheer volume of speed that you're able to get through this. I'm deliberately machine gunning this. I don't tell you to go ahead and just machine gun your work and do it that way. What I am saying is that you can. And what I am saying is that if you have a clear understanding of what you want to accomplish, like Paula does with the expireds, you could build a strategy around it. That's what I'm attempting to do here. Let me just take another look. Okay, here, let me go back to my screen here. So this was, okay, and it filled the stuff out, which is great. So this is my wife's corporation, organized New York, Palm Beach, an effective date. Okay, I agree with this. We see the filing fee is $138, and I'm still the registered agent. It had all of this information. Um, Yes, this is the information I want to report, so I could put my email address. Of course, that's saved. Name of the individual that's signing. It brings it to the point where it needs to be signed. I'll do this. And okay, so now move on to the payment section. There are names should match the one filing. Okay, let me just see. Was it Edmund P. Bogen? Hmm. Okay. Okay, I will have to find what is where did it say up here? Ah, maybe it was just the registered agent name put in the same format. That could be it. Hmm. Okay, I will have to look this up and see exactly what that is. Unfortunately, this is a little fail here. But the point is that once I do get that done, it figured out everything else. It was able to get this, to me, pretty cumbersome documentation together, the name of the entity, the document number, the EIN number, the status, all this stuff. It put this all together for me, and it's brought me to the point of actually having to do some work, which is
Just ask
pay.
the AI what is the
Y-
registered
Yeah,
the
no,
officer's
no,
name.
I will, but I just again want to, I don't want to just play here. I want to just figure out what the failure point was. That's the thing, guys. There is and there always will be failure points in the work that you do with all of this. It's a matter of being able to work through it. The overwhelming majority of people give up. That's the worst thing to do because what we're actually seeing right now is what I've demonstrated here was not available just even a few months ago. What you're really getting from this now is this ongoing ability to build more and more uh, speed and more and more opportunity to be able to build your business using AI and using that type of stuff. Ultimately, you need to focus on what is going to be dollar productive. A lot of you don't do that. It's a mistake. You got to try and figure out how my mission is to always be with buyers and sellers, preferably sellers. And my mission is to never do what I could automate and, never do what I could outsource and never outsource what I could actually automate. That's the work that we're trying to actually put through here. Um, let me just see what else. Okay, let me just show one other thing that was created before. I made a social media post, and this was something that I worked on when you first came into the meeting. I said, based on last week's meeting, and I gave the AI the information, can you please create 5 social media posts from that? And it created these double posts here within Instagram. If everyone remembers, we did AI contract review. Anybody remember that last week? Maybe? Okay, for those of you who came, we were using AI to review contracts. This meeting, like all meetings, are being recorded. I went into, here, I'll do it once again, Claude, and I could say I went into the project. Claude has a set of projects that it works on. I use the mastermind transcript, and I'm going to say something like this. Take a look at the AI contract and review transaction automation from February 19th. It was a meeting that I had. It's in your knowledge base. Based on that content that was recorded, can you please make 5 thought-provoking Instagram posts using the Edmund Bogen brand skill, and return them to me so I could post them? You might want to give a little explanation along with each one, so I could just put extra text in aside from the graphic. And what else could we do? We'll do. Please use the photo that I put into you here as an image to make with the actual post. Okay, so what did I actually do here? I'm going to just again stop the screen for a second. What I did was I invoked something very interesting. Right now, we are creating content and you don't even know it. We're talking. If you ask me a question, you've been a contributor to this. This meeting is being recorded. When that meeting gets transcribed, it now has all the context from that meeting. Do you understand? When the meeting is actually being transcribed right now, Word for word, it's capturing what I'm saying. It's going to have great summaries. It's going to have the ability to take what it learned from what I had to say and create social media posts. That's the whole thing. We're just daisy chaining one piece of work into the next. It's kind of cool if you think about it. That we're really saying, okay, you've recorded all this, you understand the points that I've been making, and now, based on that from last week's meeting, it's taking this and I have all the content I need. Let me read the brand skill before creating the Instagram posts. And it's going to now go ahead and just to give you what the outcome is. Okay, and here's the CMA. We're going to show you that in a second. Um, okay, where are we going here? That was the other thing. Just too much on my screen. Ah, God, too much on my screen. Okay, so it took everything from last week's meeting and it created several different social media posts for us to actually utilize in our social media. This was something I had done a little bit before. The CMA, I was able to take that information. You saw me put it in. And let's take a look at what this guy's all about. Okay, so now we got the comparative market analysis. Here's the address. Here's who prepped it. It gave the anchor comp that we actually used, and it showed like what that anchor comp was and why they think that it's actually relevant. Both built in the mid 1980s in St. Andrews Country Club, same buyer pool, same HOA, blah 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 blah. And it goes and gives all these great details that I put in. And we can see it's run off the page here, so I'm going to have to redo it. I'm going to have to say to it, please take a look at the page work, and it will correct it. But that's not the point. What the point that I'm making here is that you could so quickly come up with this information um, based on this. And here it came up with a recommended price of 3,495,000, a high price of 3.6, a low price of 3.3, and it gives you all that information in a beautiful little concise uh, look. Okay. But Ed, how did it know to make that look? Well, for those of you, because that's what Paul was about to ask, for those of you who went to the meeting, you'll know that I had a meeting on creating Claude skills. If you didn't go to that meeting, good news, I could share it with you now. All of our stuff is in our archive at Bogen.ai, and you could go to the video section and you could take a look right here, Claude Skills, and watch that video of what was discussed. Subscribe members, we will send you the workbook again if you don't have it. Guests, we do need you to subscribe or to call us and we will get you in on this. But this will give you, again, the step-by-step instructions on creating the Claude skills. Everything doesn't exist in a vacuum. You know, you really do need to realize where all the connections are and what your failure points are. I spent hours thinking about just what's going to make me a little bit more efficient and how do we actually live by that. I have an 11 o'clock meeting this morning. I know the stuff that I had to prepare for that. I used AI to do it. Was there a failure point? Of course there is. I keep showing you the failure points. Again, you just need to correct it, just as you need to correct a staff member that's physically working for you, just as you have an assistant or someone that works for you. Okay, but Ed, how much does it cost? I spend a fortune on my AI. You ready for this? I spend $200 a month on Claude, $200 a month on ChatGPT, $150 a year on my Otter. I spend money. I mean, if you really boil down to it, it's probably about $800 a month, maybe more on this stuff. Is it worth it? Shit, yeah. Absolutely. You get so much more done, you know. And here, I'm sorry, all of us are working successful agents. I'm not asking you to spend what I'm spending. I'm asking you to spend 20 bucks a month on Claude and 20 bucks a month on ChatGPT. And guess what? If it doesn't work, you could stop the next month. Two things, 40 bucks. That's somebody help me out here. That's five lattes. I like comparing it to lattes. How much is a large latte, Terry? You drink a lot of coffee. Or maybe Jorge, he's my
A
dude.
large latte would be like $6 or $7.
Okay, so it's $6 or $7, $40 a month. You could do the math. It's basically six or seven lattes I'm asking you for. Paula, you're excited. Go ahead, ask me a question.
Right. So, as far as the format, I think I did see last week, but I'm trying to remember. Claude skills. Is that where you put the format in for the CMA? Is that where you designed it in the last meeting? When you say the CMA and it's all formatted, how did you do that?
I created that in Claude Skills, and that is in the description. If anybody wants a one-on-one with me to go over it, please let me know. I am working with lots of you on a coaching level. Dirk is a coaching client, and we work together on this type of thing. Irina, who's here, is a coaching client. Jorge, we're working together on a lot of your planning. So if you want to explore what we could do on a one-on-one basis, I'd love to be able to discuss that with any of you. But if you don't, that's fine too. You could go back and watch the video, and you
Okay,
can go back
so
and Mhm.
that was a question. So you go into edbogen.ai slash
Not Ed
video,
Bogen, just Bogen.ai.
bogen.ai,
Yeah.
and no video.
And
Bogen. Dot.
the video is on the video is a link for videos.
Got it. All right. So here's the thing.
Tell me.
Um, as far as each one of these platforms, I use chat almost every day for whatever, business, personal. Is Claude the best platform for that, or is Perplexity better? You use Claude. Is that the
I
best one
use
for that?
Perplexity too. You know what? I may have my bias, and Eitan and I fight over this a lot. He loves Grok, which is another LLM, just to make it a little bit more confusing to you. I prefer Claude. And here's the thing, it's a moving target. Today, I prefer Claude.
Right.
And it's
It'll
kind of my
change.
job to keep you guys informed of all the new tools. God help me if you tell me something that I don't know about. I feel like, oh, how do they know that? But the reality is it's a ridiculous pipe dream of mine because it's impossible to stay on top of absolutely everything. What I
Right.
am trying to do is to distill for all of you all the things that you need to do to make your business grow. Here's the thing, you're hearing it from me now. You will all know about it in 6 months, and you will all be doing it in a year to 18 months. Terry, we're with the same company. Okay, most of you aren't with Douglas Elliman, but Terry and I are with Douglas Elliman. They said John Miller of Miller Samuels is after 30 years is going his own route, and he's world renowned. Terry, would you agree with that as far as
Oh
research
yeah.
goes?
Oh yeah.
He is the blue chip of real estate research, and we were bragging about that type of thing. We've parted ways. And I think it's fine. I don't think anything bad happened, but it made me ask why. And one of the things they also said in that memo is because we're going to do the stuff in-house. In-house equals AI. In-house equals that they don't need to, so people say, well, not everyone's losing their jobs. This guy just lost his job. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he did have some other career. Maybe he retired. Maybe there's something else. But to me, that was something that was just like, that is something that's actually affected somebody that we know. Jennifer Bottoms, who wrote my bio 10 years ago. Nice lady. And she wrote a lot of the website. I haven't spoken to her, but my guess is that she is changing careers right now because you just don't need a writer the way you used to need a writer. The photographers that had virtual staging for $50 an image. Who did I speak to? I think it was Dirk, who now was telling me yesterday he's doing his virtual staging. Um, the city people don't know this, but we have a problem with green pools every now and then when we get a listing in Florida. You got a green pool. Holy cow, they didn't clean the pool out. You could take the green out of the pool, and I don't have to pay $50 anymore for it. Who is that affecting? This is we could just easily skate by all of this, but this is chipping away at various careers that are out there. And I'll say this, the guy or woman that knows how to use this is going to be far better positioned than the person who does not. Capiche? Makes sense? Okay. Questions? What else we got going on here? I hope this is helpful, and I hope all of you are seeing just the potential in all of this.
Yeah, I got another question for
Go
you.
ahead, please.
You
I'm
talk
glad that
about
you're
birthdays, and we manually tried to go into my Facebook friends and get the birthdays.
okay.
Really, really hard to get. Can it do that for us? Because I want to be lazy.
Can it manually go into what?
My Facebook profiles and pull out all my friends' birthdays and make a list.
Sure, I guess. Well, let me ask you this. Are you really friends with everyone? I've got 5,000 friends on Facebook.
Right, I know. How do you,
I know about
right.
300 of them.
Yeah, exactly. So how do you get birthdays easily? That's my
Well,
question.
Cut and paste.
Yeah, Eitan's got a good point. Cut and paste. Let me just quickly show you what he means by that. We'll just get back out here. Oh, and now they've added my little picture here. Isn't that nice? So we go back into the birthdays and we see that this is today's. Let's see how far back it goes. That was February 24th. This was February 24th as well. Let's see how far back does it just do the month? March. Okay, so it goes through February and March. So let me just see what we could do here. So I'm basically going right through this. I'm cutting this all up here. And I'm going to take this. And you know what? Let's go into ChatGPT this time because I've given that a little neglect. And I'm going to say something like, I'm inputting names and birth dates of a bunch of people. Can you please return this to me on a grid so that I could save it? Or better yet, can you do it on an Excel file, please? So I put all those people in. And now, let's take a look. The AI is going to think about it. It's going to do this in Python. And I like looking at coding because, again, I'm a nerd and I'm constantly studying coding. So it's going to write all that up for us. And once it's done, it's going to present to you or to me an Excel file with everyone's birthdays on it for the last 2 months. So just to answer your question, Paula, I'm limited in scope by what Facebook is offering me. Can I get more? Of course I can, but I don't think you really need it. I don't think we need to go through huge loops. We're now going to have that list of birthdays, and you could take that list and now cross-reference it with other people in the database. Another thing that we're vibe coding here. Unfortunately, Nicole couldn't make it to the meeting. She's taking her son to the doctor. Good little boy. But we could take a look here at a major part of my marketing, which is constant contact. I send out email emails to my network every week, but I do more than that. One of the things that I'll do is I'll go into somebody will give me a story. Now, to me, one of the biggest stories is Mondami. Mondami in New York, everyone in Florida is talking about it. Again, I don't want to get political here, but a lot of people that I do business with don't like the guy. And a lot of people that I do business with think that it's going to be a problem for New York. And a lot of people here say that their homes are going to be worth it. It's just the chatter. And I want to lean in on what automatically is news. Again, I don't want to make a political statement. I just want to get, successful here. So here we go. This is done with with my email skill. I basically dumped a lot of information into it. One of them was my hero image on the page, and I went to ChatGPT and I said, using this image, can you please, I actually used a prompt, put me and the current mayor of New York, based on the story of what I'm doing here, how everyone might be moving to Florida. Can you make an image for me? And it came up with this. It's got me, of course, I'm 35 and good looking, even though I'm 57 and heavier. Um, and they show the 9.5% New York tax. You can see there. You can see move to Florida. You can see a bunch of U-Hauls. We can see the mayor all upset that he's holding all these boxes if everyone's moving. It's a little whimsical. Some of you may or may not like it. My crowd loved it, and I'm unapologetic about that. Everybody clicked. Everybody looked at it. Everybody stopped and commented to me in the community when they saw it. And I mean this, every single day, people stop me because of my content. And now let's click here. This was, again, created using the AI. And how did I go about doing this? There's another meeting that we had called LLM stacking. Jonathan, remember we did LLM stacking, combining multiple AIs to get the right information?
Yep.
Okay, so we did that. That's also in the archive. And what I did was I went into ChatGPT. I know this is a lot, and a lot of you are going to call me afterwards saying, "What was that? You just did so much." That's the point. You just have to hit it and do it a few times before suddenly this becomes second nature. ChatGPT, this is available to anyone who's subscribed to it, has both the deep research or what I prefer is agent mode. And I could say, please do deep research. I can't type, hold on. Into what's going on in New York City politically and how that might be affecting people, whether they want to move or stay. What can this be compared to historically? Is New York? Yeah, I want you to use hard information, readily available data to be able to make the arguments for and against why people may want to leave New York. Again, this is just something that I'm doing for
Edmund,
demonstration purposes.
Edmund, can I interrupt you?
Can I stop you?
You can do a deep search instead of an agent.
Yeah, I'm deliberately doing an agent because it's a little bit quicker, but I appreciate that.
What's
Thank you.
the difference? I don't get the difference
Okay,
between
so the agent, you're going to take a look at my screen. It's setting up the desktop, and the agent is actually once again like we did with the other AI, it's actually created its own desktop and doing all this research for us. Um, where we could actually see all the sources that it's just pulling up straight from New Yorkers 2025 residents still largely so this will actually go and do the research. I could take the exact same prompt as Aton was suggesting and open up another window. Bet you didn't know you could do this. You could work on as many windows as you want with the AIs. And I could go into research mode, deep research, put that in. And now it's not going to open up a screen, but it's going to do research in a different way. Forget, what I want you guys to do is to toy with this. Screw with it. Break some things. Try it. See what happens. Paula, you have a story that I can't compete with. All of you do. All of you have something about you that I'm not able to really uh, compete with. Now, here, this actually research mode gives you the opportunity to read out what it's going
Go
to
ahead and
do.
start.
Well, just give me a second. Collect recent official NYC demographic and migration statistics from government sources, compile crime, housing, taxation, blah, 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 survey major news outlets, think tanks, blah, blah, blah. So it's coming up with this information. Aton wants me to start. I just click start. This is going to take about 20 or 30 minutes. So we won't even be in the meeting until this thing completes. Once
By the way,
again,
the deep search by ChatGPT is amazing.
okay. Again, everyone has their way of doing stuff. All of the AIs are doing this now. So whether you're on Claude, Grok, ChatGPT, some of it is stylistic. Aton's right. Some of them are better. To me, Claude is dominant in a lot of things. Um, and to Aton, there are other AIs that might be a little bit better. But in any case,
Like Rogue.
like Grok, he loves Grok. So right now, it's doing all its research here. Let me show you the output. We could take a look once again. It created this great stuff for me. It used that information in a previous research and using the skill that I put into it, again, which you could find in my archive, it actually took the time to create what I think is a pretty well formatted report. But what else did it do? It also created a dashboard and it's going to give you the analysis of what's going on within various communities, lots of fun little charts and graphs and inventory analysis. And it put this all together for me because we actually took the time to do it. Let me give you just quickly what the skill is so I don't freak all of you out. I could go into Claude and I could say to Claude, somebody give me a skill that they want created. Terry, is there something that you want of a particular area? Or maybe there's, I don't know, for tax season. Anybody could come up with anything. I know you weren't expecting the question.
Uh,
You saw I did a CMA. You saw I'm making social media with a particular style. You saw that I'm doing birthdays and things. What would you want done if you had your way? Tough
cook
one.
dinner
Well, cook dinner.
every
That's
night.
yeah. That's
uh, 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 s-
Create a
uh, uh,
video.
a series of videos under one particular topic.
a series of videos under one. Okay, so I'm just trying to think through how a skill could do that. I could certainly script it. This particular AI doesn't do
Exactly.
video.
Can you give me a list of 10 videos about the history of Central Park? 10
That's
ideas for
not what a
videos.
skill
It's
does.
not what a skill does.
That's
That's a
not what a
search.
skill does.
It's a
Oh,
search. We're looking for a repeatable task. I really want one
ah,
of you to come up with it. Anyone could shout it out now.
A skill is
Yeah.
able to repeat a task
Unsubscribe from
and make it
emails.
identical.
Somebody said unsubscribe from emails. Let's take a look.
Yes.
I don't know if it could
That's too
actually do that.
broad.
It's
That's
a
too
little too
broad.
broad and
Really?
it's a little bit too agentic for this. So
So
again,
what
let
about
me.
sending me what do you call it? A blog every day that I can put into my Google My Business?
Yes.
That's what I want to do.
Yes. Okay. So great. Let me create the skill here, and I'm going to do this for you, and I'm going to send it to you, Paula. You like that?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Thank
So here we
you.
go.
But I
Okay.
got
I
to do
want
it
I
in
want you to
Claude, Ed.
create. Sorry.
I have to do it in Claude. You want me to do it in Claude?
I'd like you to do it in Claude, but if you can't do it in Claude, you could also. I'm going to show you how to actually use this. I'm going to do this very quickly, though. Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So I already said, okay, I want you to create a new skill for Paula Anaruma. Let's see if it spelled your name right. Nope.
ANNARUMMA.
Okay.
You got it. Thank you. New skill.
Who is a real estate agent in Queens, New York. She wants the skill to uh, continuously look into blog posts and blog ideas about her immediate area. First and foremost is Queens. Secondary would be New York City in general. What are some of the things you have an interest in, Paula?
Well, like you said that thing about the new tax increase from I laughed when you sent that email because I actually got a call from a guy who wants to sell an investment property because of that
Okay,
the same day it came out on the news. So that was really interesting.
cool.
I stay away from politics in general. So you want to do things like, what's going on in the neighborhood, things that
Okay,
are
so
not going to be
so
touchy,
So
you know.
let's we want to make this somewhat light, things that are going on in the neighborhoods, things that are affecting the residents of the area. We can talk about certain taxation issues, but what I want this skill to do once invoked is for it to look up recent um, uh, items that repeatedly come up in the news. I want you to look up Paula's bio so that it's created by her. I want you to return all of this as a well-formatted blog post. Now, what we want the blog post to look like. Let me explain that. Okay. Paula, I want to look you up. Do you have a website, Paula?
Queens to NassauHomes.com. You got an extra letter in there. Queens to NassauHomes.com.
This one.
HOMES. Right, you got it. And then HOMES.com.
Okay.
That's kind of new.
Okay, this is your site?
Yep.
Okay. Anybody want to get a home in Queens, you know who to call. So great. I've got the site. I'm going to take this down just a little bit. I'm going to say, let me explain that. This is Paula's website. Please make the brand of what your output is look like this. Can you put this together as a skill for me? I will need you to return it as both a markdown file and a zip file so that I can send it to Paula. Okay, so I think we have everything we need. Right now, this is creating a skill.
Oh,
And once that skill's created, Paula, I'm going to send it to you. And if you could do me a favor and invoke it yourself and see how hard it is, and then we could put that on our website to show everyone just what you were able to do. See, guys, let me just let it do its work here. It's really a matter of you imagining what you need. I just put her skill together. It's now building the skill for me. It's going to take about 5 minutes. Once it's actually saved, so that's it. It's saved. You have it. So with Paula, if we were meeting one on one, we might take 2 or 3 hours to make that skill because the output for the next year is that we've got some great stuff that we're able to really go and produce. By the way, the CMA a day, a great thing to do if you work on a farm, produce the CMA, send it out in 2-day FedEx. It's going to be $17 or next day FedEx in the afternoon. There's no emergencies here. Everyone opens a FedEx. You're going to do that 5 days a week times 4 weeks, 20 times a month. Let's say it's $20. You're spending $400 a month on that. You will get headway. You will get people speaking to you. Exactly what happens and whether you close, I can't predict how good a closer you're going to be, but you will get activity. You then need to actually have some follow up. If you have their You should call them on your own. We are a business where we put ourselves out there. We got to show a little bit of courage, but we got to actually call them to follow up. Separate from that, you could get them on an email drip campaign. Did you get my message? It doesn't have to be every day. You could get them on a text drip campaign. We're going to be going over Twilio, which is a text agent, in a future meeting. All work is going to be done in this manner. Don't get annoyed at me because you're not doing it this way because you're frustrated or whatever it is. I'm not the one who did it. I'm just the one who's giving you a parachute here to get through what the changes are in society. Good news, you don't need to learn it immediately right now. But I will tell you this is going to be more common in the next year to 18 months. I guarantee people will be talking about it. And if you could get the edge now, you're going to win where other people are going to lose. I mean, that's really the bottom line. If you want to speak with me
Mm.
about coaching, I think a few of you here are now coaching with me, meeting one-on-one and going through this. It's a half-hour meeting. We do it once a month. It's extremely affordable. If you want to buy more time than that, that's fine too. We now have a portal that you can log into for coaching clients where we have the repository of what we discussed, along with other tools that you're going to be able to use, and it goes on a month by month basis. And if you think it sucks, you could just fire me. And that's, I hope not, but that's what we're actually producing. Jorge, we've had a great time. I'm having a great time getting to know him, as is with so many of you. I can see a couple people had to jump. But that's great stuff to be able to work this through. Let me just go back here and see how your skills coming along. And great. So it's actually created the Queen's blog, Paula's Queen's skill right here. Paula, this is what forget the gobbledygook. It's a lot of, I call it gobbledygook here. Who is Paula? You're gonna have to look this for yourself.
No, it's accurate.
It's
It's
accurate,
accurate.
native of
Yep, yep,
Whitestone,
yep.
broker. It gives her territory, Whitestone, based on Flushing. So this has got all of this information, current topics. It's got various topics that are going on here. Let's just do one thing here.
I think interest rates are important too, because then you got people who are on the fence about putting their house on the market. They don't want to, the rates have dropped and all that, so they don't want to, pay more and they might pull the trigger if the rates drop. So that's another thing that I would definitely put in,
Of,
you know,
of what?
interest rates and how
Okay.
they've, dropped. That might
Okay.
inspire people to list.
So for those of you who could stick around for another 5 minutes, let's just see if we could take this all the way. Please do a blog using the Paula Queen's blog skill about the effect of interest rates on her immediate area. I'm going to input a hero image of Paula that you could use with that blog post. If you understand, please just ask me for the image. I'll give it to you and then you could execute on this blog. Okay, so let me just quickly go and find
Amazing.
you, Paula. I hope you have.
I'm all over the place. Such an easy name, isn't it?
Annaru.
MMA. I bought all the wrong spellings of my name,
Oh,
so nobody
good.
could get it. Yep, years
That's
ago.
smart. Let me just see if we have. Well, one thing I could say that I like about your name is you're not going to have any competition.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
Edmund Bogen, there's not that many Edmund Bogens. Eitan Benzeno, there's if your name is Fred Smith, it might be, in this world, it's hard to Google. But here, let's take this image.
I don't know who that is on the right.
I don't know who that is either, but that's fine. Let's go back to ChatGPT. I'm going to go into ChatGPT. I'm going to say create image. I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to say um, make a photorealistic cartoon image of Paula. She is the top real estate agent in Queens, New York. Please keep her centered in the image, 16 by 9 aspect ratio. And it's photorealistic cartoon. As I said, the imagery in the background has to be somewhat iconic of Queens. If you understand what I'm asking, please execute. Okay, so now it's going to take what I just dictated and it's going to create that. Let's make sure that this can understand. Please put the image in. Okay, I'll do it as soon as the image is made. Give me a second, guys. And
So
this is what vibing is. You just suddenly get an idea and you put it together and we're going to have it. Once again, and I'm going to say this a million times, not excuse not to work. You have to read this, Paula, because it might say stupid shit. And I
Right.
don't want that to be the case. And it may or may not be an image you like. Again,
I use it for a lot of virtual staging now, but sometimes it comes out wrong,
sure.
so you have to always, like you say, fact check. I learned that from your meetings. And do you think that chat is the best one for virtual staging, or do you recommend another
I
platform?
mean, so there we go. Look at this. Top real estate agent in Queens. Okay, whether it's true or not, who cares?
Yeah,
No,
that's all right. It
yeah,
makes me look younger, so I'm happy about
that's
that.
I always say I'm 35. I'm 35 and really thin. But here we go. So I put that in,
I gotta send this to my son.
and now let's
He's
take
gonna
a look at
laugh.
what this is going to produce. So great. It's now good. You're going to see this perfect. Love it. Now let me research the current mortgage rates. It's going to go through all of that. And in a couple minutes, we're going to now have a blog post that you're going to be able to use.
Wow, amazing.
Provided that you take the time to read it, provided that now, how do we make it even better? Within that skill, what I'd love to do is get some writing samples of yours that we can now give it and make it really truly sound like it was written by you. Because right now it's going to sound a little bit more like me. And maybe you'll like that, and that's fine. But there's no excuse to say that you don't have content. Today, it's just I don't want to hear it from any of you. There's just no excuse because there's just so much that's out there. I saw all the Otter pilots on here today. Do you know that you could take what I did, what I discussed in Otter, it transcribes this meeting word for word. You could copy that whole transcription, drop that into ChatGPT, and say, based on the content here, can you make a series of posts that I could put up? There, I just gave you a ton of posts.
Right.
It's garbage in, garbage out. You could still have some pretty bad stuff out there. I don't
Or
want you
ask
to do that.
chat or any of the others for the most talked about context or stories in real estate topics, and create me a 60-second video. I do that all the time. Now,
Yeah.
one of the things that really was a home run video for us, just to let people know, because
Okay.
my son is 31 and he works with me, my partner, and also a photographer. So he's got all this fancy equipment, right? Videography. And
Great.
we went around a neighborhood and just did like a neighborhood tour. Over 2 or 3 thousand views on Facebook and Instagram each one. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And I'm shocked because we were in the car, and then he's got another thing that you put it on the front end of the hood of the car. This was like, I got more views on those than I couldn't believe it. Just a neighborhood tour. You
Great.
go around, even if you hold your phone like this and just go around. I did it in Naples just to show the fancy mansions. It was a fun video.
So fantastic. Let me just share one thing before I forget. Next week's meeting, it's going to be, let me pull it up on this screen. Got multiple screens going on here. Building your second revenue engine with AI. God, these pictures are getting too insane of me here. I never once looked like that, but okay. Building your second revenue engine. What do I mean by that? A lot of you are doing various secondary jobs. You might want to sell research. You might want to do some type of staging or do some other work. In any case, I know a lot of realtors that are trying to build second revenues. I figured out successfully how to do it with AI. That's going to be next week's meeting. If you'd like to come along, I'd love to have you. It's going to be on Wednesday, March 4th at 9 a.m. So that's the commercial pitch for that. Now back to Paula. Paula, let's take a look at you ready to see what we got for you, Paula? You're muted, Paula. You ready? This is the exciting part. Okay. Well, here we go.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. So now I'm going to publish this as an artifact, meaning this is a website in and of itself.
How do you do that?
We'll again, it's another Claude feature. I will show you in a little bit. So mortgage rates hit a 3% low, what it really means for Queens and Nassau homeowners. It's pretty good, guys, right? I mean,
Amazing.
I hope. Again, check the data. By the way, you could copy this and put it into ChatGPT and say, ChatGPT, do a fact check for me. That's LLM stacking. That's combining various AIs. So if you're a little confused, that's fine. What I suggest, especially for guests, subscribe. This is really a place where you can learn, where you could engage, where you're going to be able to go out and get this stuff done. If you don't want to do it, Aton is dying for more work here, loves to be able to get this stuff out to you guys. We will gladly be your engine behind making this stuff too. But let's even see what they have here. I don't even know what it linked to. Okay, it didn't link to anything. So let's just see. Did it link? No, no, it's not, there's no link set up here. Once again, that's why you need to check it out. Does it go to you as a contact? Probably not. No. Okay, so Paula, your job would be to tell the AI what links you want to put this to. So you got a contact page. If you have a blog set up, we could talk about that. Neighborhoods that you service and that type of thing. But I would tell you that in a very short period of time, with a very limited prompt, we were able to get this stuff done. Paul,
Amazing.
Eitan, did I show that long enough?
No, no,
No,
you did not.
I did not. Okay, well that's the story. Paul, I'm going to
And
send
you know
you.
what? I missed. How did you get a picture in there?
Okay, well, sorry you missed it. How did we do it? We created the image in ChatGPT. I gave it specific instructions about
Separately.
separately.
Oh.
And I said to ChatGPT, this is the image that I want to make. I went online and I stole a picture of Paula online. I said, I want a photorealistic cartoon image. It's about this top realtor in Queens. Give some iconic imagery of Queens in the background. Make it a 16:9 aspect ratio and photorealistic. And I put that in. When it produced that, I put that on my desktop. I then put it into Claude and I asked Claude to use that in the blog post, which it did,
Using her own skill.
using the skill that we created for her as well. Now, her skill is far from perfect. We need to know more about her to make it a better skill. But that's what I want all of you to take from this meeting. That
Why is that aspect ratio important, Ed? What is so
yes,
important about that?
again, it's my style. The okay, this is 9:16. When you have something like that, this
Yeah,
is 16:9. It's
right.
more of like well, actually, it's not quite, but it's more of a movie theater style. It's a stylistic thing. Maybe for you, you want something else.
It's it's
Okay.
portrait landscape.
Portrait and
Okay.
landscape, yeah.
Okay.
If you forget, just say, I want it in the aspect ratio like a movie theater. You could just describe these things today. That's the thing. AI is allowing you to be a total idiot. I don't want you to be a total
Hallelujah
idiot.
for that.
Yeah, it's really allowing that. But here, just imagine if you put a little bit of smarts into it, you'll go really, really far. Okay, guys, I've gone way over, and I apologize for that. I really do hope that we can meet
No, it
up.
was great. It was great. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I really
A
hope
lot of
that you
fun.
make it to next week's meeting. We've got that on the 4th. The week after that, the 9th, I'm not going to have a meeting. Even Cal Ripken, the legendary baseball player, missed a meeting. I will be getting surgery. I'm having my hip replaced. Not that I need a hip replacement, but among a lot of old people here in Florida, it makes me feel like I'm going to fit right in. It's going to be great for business. Okay, I'm
Well,
joking. I need a hip
yeah.
replacement. But
Yes.
So
Well,
so
next week we have
good
building
luck with
your
your
second
surgery.
revenue engine.
yeah,
Yes.
next
Good.
week, building your second revenue engine. The week after that, Aton, we might add something. No, we won't. So the week after that, we won't have anything on Wednesday. I'm going to see if I'll be well enough to do something on Friday. I just don't want to risk it with you guys and have to cancel a meeting. But we will be doubling up on various days. Again, I don't think I've ever had a planned meeting that we've missed. But like I said, even Cal Ripken couldn't do it. If you guys feel as though that's somehow you need more time with me, call me. I'm available. Reach out. You got great stuff going on. Here's the thing. If you embrace this, you're going to win because no one else is. It's
Right.
just that simple. You could go so much farther than anyone else. You just have to want it. You just have to wake up in the morning. If I could summarize vibe work in one way, it's starting with the end in mind. What is it that you really truly want to accomplish? And what you need me for is to figure out what that is. You really do. A lot of you say, "Well, I want more money. I want more business. I want this." You know, it's very difficult to just get that. Okay, wants, needs, and brags very quickly. Now's the time to talk about what you want, what you need, what you're going to brag about. I got my oldest coming home for the weekend on Friday. That makes me happy.
I
Anytime I
know.
see my babies, that's great. So my oldest is coming home this weekend, which I'm really, really psyched about. And and I got a lot of great things going on with business as well, but that's my excitement. What about you? Anyone could unmute and give us a brag.
I can go.
Oh, but
Uh,
Hassan, please tell everyone who you are and where you are.
Hassan Bazi, I'm a realtor out of Southeast Michigan, outside Detroit. So I went on a listing presentation for a FISBO about a
Okay.
week ago. $1.6 million property, and I got it.
Love it.
Took two follow-ups, but I got it.
Good. Good. So you see that's great stuff. You see, you know, you just he's and Hassan's one who comes in. He's very serious. He brings his own perspective to this, and I'm delighted for you. Do you think it's going to sell at that price? Do you think you got it listed well?
Yeah, it's on a large lot, and I think what will end up happening is I think a developer will buy it and split up the lot and put up two new homes, and seller realizes that it's on a little over 2 acres.
Great. Okay. So Hassan actually told me something very interesting in a previous meeting, and that was that uh, obviously he's in Michigan and he does a lot of business with people of the Muslim faith. And that for the more devout Muslim, I don't know if you'd even say devout Muslim, but I hope I'm saying it properly. You're not supposed to lend money. You're not supposed to lend or borrow. Is
Yeah.
that was
Yeah, well, there's a similar program actually out of Detroit. There's a loan program called the Hebrew Free Loan.
okay
So it's a similar concept.
for Jews as
Yeah,
well?
exactly, for
So,
Jews as well.
so it's being able to get a loan, but it's technically not a loan.
Exactly. Yeah,
I
yeah.
I
love
think
all
the
these little
interest rates
shortcuts.
is the
These little
issue.
shortcuts. You know, God would be scratching his head saying, "What are you guys up to?" You know, but it's great. It was a great loan product. I think, by the way, it's a great blog for you, Hassan. If you have a lot of Muslims as clients, I think that's a great idea. I don't know. Did you freeze? You're holding very still. I think he froze. Okay, wants, needs, and brags. Anyone else? Terry.
My family and I have been working on we have a business back home in Kansas City where we buy old houses and bring them into the 21st century. Uh, we have not had a house during the whole pandemic because everybody bought a house like that during the pandemic, but we got our first house. It is done. It's been a tumultuous year, major surgeries for my sister and other unfortunate family occurrences. But the house just went live Sunday. We had a broker's open house, and it was packed. So I just feel good about this and getting this side business up and going further, faster, all that kind of stuff. So
Amazing.
yeah,
Amazing. Good for you. Okay, I love it. I love hearing great things. Terry, welcome back. Glad to have you here. This is good stuff.
thank you.
Who else? Paula, you had a brag, I think.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I have no inventory, so I'm really focusing on that. I sold everything, including my mother's co-op in Queens, Whitestone, and that was, really expensive. Oh, here's a tip.
Here's a
I
tip.
was I was looking for a new place in Florida, and I kept seeing this Zillow showcase out of all the inventory, which is a lot on the West Coast. So Zillow Showcase. So naturally, your eyes go to that, pops up, more eyeballs on it. That's what you want. So I called up Zillow and I got Zillow Showcase. And for my area, it was $300 a month, which was the best money because I had this thing on the market for 14 months. I had I was getting 10 to 12 views a day on regular Zillow. Went to
Okay.
Showcase. One day it was 1,000, 1,100, and 600. I got the place sold. I only need one buyer. So that was money well spent. And
That
then I took my extra token and I gave it to my broker in Florida and I said, "Hey, I'm giving you my token. Put my condo on Zillow Showcase." We'll get more. I was
okay.
able to,
And
finagle that, but yeah, so we're pretty busy, thank God.
good. Listen, I'm
So
glad that you found a way to work it. That's good
yeah, but
stuff.
this was a great meeting. Thank you.
Yeah. Uh,
And
who
good luck
else?
on your surgery.
Thank you.
I won't
Well, I'll see
torture
you
you.
next week. Look, you know,
Oh,
with a hip replacement, Paula, do you eat chicken?
yes.
Okay, get a whole chicken from the supermarket and
Yes.
rip the leg off, okay, and stuff it back on. That's basically what they're going to do to me.
Right, I know.
Oh,
They put a
yeah.
titanium rod in there.
Yeah,
Now you'll be the
it's fucking
bionic
brutal.
man.
I watch way too much YouTube. This is
No,
not the thing to watch.
it's a much easier recovery than a knee, and now you won't be able to go through the regular scans at the airport. You have to go in a special spot because you got metal in you. So, yeah.
Yeah, I already have a surgery like that right now. It's like I had bariatric surgery.
Oh.
And I set off the thing because they think I've got something because they see scar tissue. And then if I gain like 5 pounds, it doesn't go off anymore. So like
Okay.
last time I went through, they wouldn't frisk me. And I'm like, what the hell? Of course you need to frisk me. You know, I didn't gain any weight. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That was
More insulation.
more
Yeah.
insulation. Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
Hassan, you dropped off, but you're back. You want to finish up what you were saying?
Oh yeah, I was just talking about the Hebrew free loan. It's not. I mean, I that community is probably a small fraction of the clientele that I have, but it's a large community in this area, so I just try to stay abreast of all the unique things that go into working with that community.
Sure. So, what is that? In other words, for religious reasons, and I say this very carefully, look it up in the Realtors Association because I don't want to get anyone in trouble with fair housing law. You could probably put some posts together that if you work with a mortgage broker who will service in this type of way, a Muslim or Orthodox Jew, whatever it might be,
Right.
it seems to me that you've got a great opportunity to, engage with people on a different level. Just a thought. I thought it was kind of cool. I liked it.
Yeah, I came about it. I mean, I honestly, I think I mentioned this on one call before. I learned about it. I was in the entrepreneurship space years ago, and I was working with a lot of like venture capitalists and angel funds, and that's how I learned that this was actually a thing, and connected with those people.
Amazing. Very, very, very cool stuff. Okay, anyone else? Guys, this was probably the longest meeting in quite some time, but it's only because Terry's back. And I just wanted to, embrace that, having Terry back. Guys, this is good. I hope to see everybody. But before I do, I just want to say, is everybody ready? Eitan,
Yeah,
are you ready?
we missed you, Terry.
I am
Ter-
so
Terry,
ready.
Terry, are you ready?
I'm ready.
You're ready. Okay, great. When Terry's ready, it makes me look at all of you and say, it sure is good seeing all of you. I had a really good time today, and I look forward to seeing all of you next Wednesday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for another exciting episode of
Rain
Bobbles
Nation.
Up. I love that. Okay, very good. Thank you so much, guys. Let's get together. Love to see all of you. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ed.